Hardee's Friday Night Blitz is sponsored by Hardee's, Don Hudson Insurance, Muckadoos, Wicked Diesel, and by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Yes, good evening, everyone. I'm Jermaine Ferrell. Hoping your day is wonderful and blessed. Welcome to Hardee's Friday Night Blitz. We're in playoff mode. We're in the VHSL Regional Semifinals. Highlights of 10 games, and we kick off the action with our game of the week.
Now, the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz Game of the Week, sponsored by Don Hudson Insurance.
Our Hardee's Friday Night Blitz Game of the Week is a Region 4D semifinal matchup. The third seed, the Easy Glass Hilltoppers, take on the second seed, the Jefferson Forest Cavaliers. This is a rematch from the regular season. JF shut out Glass at City Stadium with a 23-0 victory. So we go to Sabre Stadium for the playoff edition of the Black and Blue Bowl as we got that going. And in the first quarter, Glass, Maxwell Calloway with the screen pass to Jamar Smith, who does the rest. 59 yards, young fella, breaking one to the outside. That's a touchdown, 7-0 Toppers. Later is 7-3 Toppers, and Callaway is going to do something. He's going to go to the air, hook up with Samuel Tracy, who just runs through the defense and making moves, parting the sea there. Got that touchdown there, Glass up 14-3. The Cavaliers, however, will respond. Josiah Bell is going to hook up with Demeen Williams, who goes over the air to Samuel Hammersmith with a touchdown. It's 14-10. Glass with the lead. Did a second quarter. Glass says we can do that as well. How about Jamari on Kittrell? It's going to go to Samuel Tracy, and he's going to double up and do that. Put that touchdown there. It nicely placed. Doing that well. Glass gets some revenge in the Black and Blue Bowl with a 27-20 win over JF, and we'll have a wrap-up on that game coming up in just a bit. Meanwhile, to Salem Stadium, and we have the other 40 semifinalists, the Spartans, hosting John Haley in their first ever meeting in the two teams. So let's go to Salem, and we see there it is, the Spartans running out, doing some things there. First quarter action. Eli Taylor is going to do some work here. He's going to drop back, hook up with Jalen Taylor. Touchdown. From 10 yards out, it was 7-0 Salem. To the second quarter, it's the same score, and on 4th and 7 at the Hanley 33, Taylor to Kamari Garner, making some moves to the outside. He gets it going 30 yards down to the Hanley 3. They're the judges, by the way. But anyway, they would be sentenced here from a touchdown from Javion Jones from 1 yard out. 14-0 Spartans, and Salem shuts out John Hanley 42-0. So Salem will host EC Glass for the Region 4D title next week in a rematch from last year's regional final. Well, on the Region 5C, a lot of upsets in this region, including the 8th seed in the William Fleming Colonels. Last week, they knocked off the top seed in their city rival of Patrick Henry. Fleming staying on the road to head it to the state capital of Richmond to play Douglas Freeman. So let's go out to Richmond, the state capital right there. The Rebels, they had a 10-0 lead at this point, but in the third quarter, the Colonels would come back. Jasir Preston to Marza Gray with the touchdown, and Fleming would make it closer. And then again, Preston hooking up with K. Ron Ferguson, spins in, and he does the rest. Nice spin, got it in there for the touchdown. Tied it up at 17. We go to overtime, and in the extra session, Malachi Coleman gets the game winner. William Fleming gets another upset in the playoffs, working overtime. They beat Douglas Freeman 23-20. So the Colonels will visit Matoaka for the Region 5C title next week. Coming up on the Hardee Friday Night Blitz with playoff action, we go to Vinton, a rematch from the regular season. William Byrd hosting Lord Bote in the Region 3D semifinals. Stick and stay, please.
Now, Hardee's Friday Night Blitz Band of the Week. To the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz on WFXR.
Time to get it on.
And welcome back, good peeps, to the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz. We go to Region 3D semifinals. David DeGuzman, you were in the house over at Bob Patterson Stadium for a rematch from the regular season.
That's right, Jermaine. If you remember, just a little over a month ago, this was one of our Game of the Week matchups. William Byrd shut out Lord Bote in Vinton 16-0, snapping the Terriers' 6-game losing streak to the Cavaliers. Well, tonight, These two meet again at Robert Patterson Stadium with the right to play on Thanksgiving weekend on the line. Let's go to the tape. Lord Bote with revenge on its mind, looking for a return ticket to the region championship game. The Terriers trying to prove that winning the regular season wasn't a fluke. The fireworks started early like Black Friday. Israel Hairston sends this ball deeper than a discount at Walmart. Caught by double hockey sticks, number 11, Cooper Minix. He's got that Minix magic as the Terriers get on the board first. But the Cavs trying to come up with some big plays of their own, like this huge run by Tristan Overbay, who's off to the races, nearly gets to the end zone, but instead brought down just short of the goal line. And that was an 87-yard gain, which sets up this play. Overbay does just enough to get the ball over the goal line for the touchdown. Bote on the board. We're tied at 7-all. We head to the second quarter. Izzy Hairston, remember him? This time he does it himself, putting the Terriers ahead 14-7 thanks to that QB keeper for the 2-yard score. And then just before the half, inside 2 minutes to go, more music from Hairston, launching another throw, this time to Dominic Dulac in the end zone. 29-yard touchdown strike. William Byrd off to a 21-7 lead, and the Terriers tonight making history, gets the win over Lord Bote 41-14. Hairston conducting a symphony tonight. 3 touchdown throws and 2 on the ground, as William Byrd setting a school record. Most games won in a single season. That was win number 11, and back-to-back playoff victories for the first time ever. The Terriers will practice on Thanksgiving, and they've got the winner of this next game. Jermaine?
Thank you so much, David. Now, that other Region 3D semifinal, the top seed in the Magna Vista Warriors, hosting the 4th seed Christiansburg Blue Demons. Magna Vista perfect on the season. Magna Vista getting something going here early in the ball game. It's Simeon Moore. He's the bomb to Jameer Harrison. Yes, Harrison. I think Israel and Harrison are both related. Anyway, Magna Vista gets that 7-0 advantage there. In the second quarter, Christiansburg's Matt Annis, he's going to get the handoff and take it to the house. Look at this run. Young fella, you're doing something. Taking it to the pay window. Touchdown, we're tied at 7. And Magna Vista, they get the win over Christiansburg 27-20. So the Warriors will host the Terriers for that Region 3D title next week. On the Region 3 seed, a top seed in the Liberty Christian Bulldogs, perfect on the year, taking on the 5th seed Rustburg Red Devils. This is a rematch from the regular season as LCA shut out Rustburg 41-0. LCA a perfect 9-0 against Rustburg. So to LCA we go with first quarter action, and the Bulldog cheerleaders trying to fire up the fans. It was 21-7 Bulldogs with the advantage, but the Rustburg Red Devils, Marcravion Rosser gets the touchdown. They cut it to a 21-13 lead. But LCA would show some razzle-dazzle. Jeb Moon is going to do something here. He's going to pass the ball over to James Dalton Desserot with the touchdown, 30-13 LCA, and they win big over Rustburg 45-3. So the Bulldogs will host Spotswood or Turner Ashby next week for the Region 3C's final title game. The Spotswood Turner Ashby game was moved to tomorrow due to air quality concerns. Now, it's time now to take a look back at our game of the week. That was EC Glass taking on Jefferson Forest. Of course, Glass won that game over JF by that score of 27-20. So here's Ryan Moye with a recap.
Well, for the Region 4D semifinals, it was a rematch between Jefferson Forest and EC Glass. Glass able to get on the board early, but didn't let up all the way into the second half. Jefferson Forest able to chip away at the lead, but thanks to some Hilltopper defense, they were able to come away with the win.
We talk all the time about just eyes on the prize, and you know, even though we were disappointed in the way we performed in that first game, we were hoping and praying that we would put ourselves in position to get another shot at these guys. And you know, that's just, you know, it's so many life lessons in the game of football, and that's one of them. You know, even when things don't go your way, you know, you don't sit around and poke your lip out. You just keep on working and keep moving forward. So very resilient group of guys. We got a bunch of tough kids, a bunch of resilient kids, and very proud of them tonight.
You see the environment out here, man. It just means a lot, you know. Coming back from losing last time, 23-0, like, we had a bad taste in our mouth, man. And it being the playoffs, we didn't want it to end too soon. So us coming out and getting this victory means a lot. It feels good. It feels good, especially playing in this JF Bowl. You know how that environment can be. It can be real hostile at times. So to be able to calm it down feels real good.
The public perception is always that, you know, when you take a butt whooping, that you got to do things completely different. And we always say, man, that's how a fan thinks. And, you know, us coaches and us players, our job is to show up every week and to try to get better. You know, it doesn't matter if we win by 50 or get beat by 50. You know, our Sunday through next Friday looks exactly the same. And that's what we did, man. We just kept believing, kept trusting in each other, kept working our butts off, and I'm so proud of the kids and their effort tonight, and just very proud of what those guys have done and what they've accomplished. And, we get to practice on Thanksgiving morning. That's always a preseason goal.
Well, as you just heard, EC Glass pretty happy that they were able to get a little bit of revenge tonight from what happened to them earlier on in the regular season, getting shut out by Jefferson Forest over at City Stadium. As of now, the Hilltoppers will be moving on in the playoffs, but Jefferson Forest's time in the playoffs comes to an end. At Sabre Stadium in Forest, Ryan Moye, WFXR Sports.
Thank you so much, Ryan. We have more Friday Night Blitz coming. We have highlights from Region 2C, 1C, and 1B, plus Ryan Moore with our latest player of the week, and we preview Norcross' bid for their second straight state title.
And now, Hardee's Friday Night Blitz Hardee's Fan Cam, sponsored by Hardee's.
Number 13, Gavin Hall. Number 14, Winston Davenport.
And now, back to the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz on WFXR.
Time to get it on.
And we're back with more Hardee's Friday Night Blitz on to the Region 2C semifinals. The top seed in Radford, the Bobcats perfect on the year, hosting the 4th seeded Appomattox Raiders. Now, Appomattox has ended Radford's season in the playoffs the last 3 years. So people with umbrellas at Norm Lindenberg Field needing the rain the second quarter, though Radford was raining here 16-7, and J.D. Grubb is getting his eat on going in for the touchdown. Radford goes up 23-7, and this young lady in the stands loved what she saw from her Bobcats. But how about Appomattox? Reagan Conroy, RC, hooking up with Max Nitty with the touchdown. Radford's leads cut to 23-14. More Radford. Landon Clark calls his own number. The Elon commit scores. And it's Radford winning this one over Appomattox 50-30, ending a 3-game playoff losing streak to the Raiders. The other Region 2 semifinal, Gretna, taking on Glenver. Ain't nothing but a G thing, baby. Picking up things in the second quarter, Gretna with a 21-10 advantage. And we're 2nd and 9 from midfield, and Brody Doyot's going to go to the air, hook up with one of our former Friday Night Blitz players of the week. That's Peyton Deal. He's the real deal, taking it down to the sideline. That's a touchdown, and Gretna's lead is cut to 21-17. Glenver would do onside kick and recovery, and then the combination of Doyot to D and D connection, 30 yards in stride. Touchdown. Glenver goes back on top 24-21. But Gretna would respond courtesy of special teams. On this kickoff is Kamari Chatton. Look what he does with the ball, and he's going to part the Glenver Highlander special teams, part it like the Red Sea, or the Green Sea in this case. 35 yards, young fella is gone. Gretna goes back on top 28-24, but Glenver would come back and they knock off Gretna in an upset 38-34, so Glenver will head to Radford next week for the Region 2C semifinal. On to the Region 1C semifinals, the top seed, the Grayson County hosting 5th seeded Galax. Now, since 2021, this has been the 7th meeting between the teams. Grayson County won the regional semifinal game last year, and this year they won the regular season finale 2 weeks ago. The Grayson County fans came out in full force to cheer on the Blue Devils. First quarter, Galax at the 3rd down at the 11, and then Austin Dowell's going to pass, was picked off by Austin Ashworth. And he's going to run down to Grayson County territory. Galax would keep the ball. Now on a 1st and goal, Tedron Tucker, T-squared, gets it in for the touchdown. Galax pitch a shutout. They knock off the top seed, Grayson County, 14-0. George Wythe Maroons taking on Fort Chiswell in the other Region 1C semifinal. George Wythe was being methodical on offense, with completing passes like nobody's business because they were very methodical on offense. How about Tandem Smith to Trey Rainey? He gets it down 7 yards away from the end zone. So we start the second period. How about this? Tandem Smith is going to take it to the outside. He scores. Touchdown. George Wythe up 7-0. And the Maroons, they shut out Fort Chiswell 35-7. So the George Wythe Maroons will host a Galax Maroon Tide for the Region 1C title next week. In the Region 1B semifinals, the 4th seed William Campbell falls to top seed at Sussex Central 32-24. The 3rd seed Alta Vista, they go on the road and they beat the 2nd seed Brunswick 30-26. So Alta Vista will visit Sussex Central for the Region 1B title next week. Well, Saturday afternoon at 1, the Norcross Raiders will be going for their 2nd straight and 5th state title overall as they play Blue Ridge in the VISAA Division II Final. Raiders head coach Shannon Taylor says the team knows all about championship week. This is their 6th title game in the last 8 years. Also, they are playing a Blue Ridge team they beat during the regular season and come from behind fashion in the Charlottesville area, 24-15.
Well, obviously, championship week, you know, we've been practicing for a long time, practicing since July. There's nothing we're going to do this week that we didn't do week 1. So everything's a habit, creating habit, creating the culture, continue to do what we've done well all season, and the guys are just ready to go.
I mean, that's been the whole season. You know, we've been a road warrior. We had, I think, 2 or 3 home games this year, and all the away games we won. And I think with this one having more preparation and they have to come to us, I think I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty confident about that, yeah.
You know, we try to treat every week as if it's a state week, so I feel like this week we've been working 10 times harder. You know, we've been preaching this all year, so we've been giving it our all this week, preparing this week. We know we got a tough opponent, so we really got to come out and show out.
And kickoff from Norcross is set for tomorrow at 1.
Now, Hardee's Friday Night Blitz Player of the Week, sponsored by Wicked Diesel.
Well, this week's athlete is back, and he is better than ever. Not only did he run for over 160 yards and 2 scores, he also threw for over 150 yards and 2 touchdowns as well in his team's 45-21 win over Pulaski County in the Region 3D quarterfinals last Friday. Plus, this is his team's first playoff win since 2016. He's back, and he is your player of the week.
Israel Harrison, QB/free safety, William Byrd High School. Our team came out with great energy and great focus, and that we showed that on the opening kickoff, and then it just proceeded from there to a little bit of a snowball effect for our momentum, and it allowed us to play with great energy, great focus, and great camaraderie with everybody. O-line does a great job protecting. They do a great job of opening holes for not just me, but also our running backs, because they also have big games. So give it to those guys up front. They do a great job. This team has a great brotherhood. Outside of football, we hang out with each other everywhere. You see us going to the mall, going to eat, whatever it is, after morning practices, going out to eat and everything. So, you know, the brotherhood and the friendship that we have is special, and that's what helps us play to our fullest potential. It's laying a foundation for a great program. You know, we lay this foundation, we show what it takes to win, we show what it takes to get to where we're at, and the younger guys pick up on it and they carry it forward.
What does this mean to Coach Lutz, and what does he mean to you?
It's great. He's been a part of this team too, so he's been a part of us. He's invested in us, and you know, he really pushes that idea of stay to yourselves, keep working in the weight room, keep focusing on the little details, and you'll see itself through.
What does it mean when you put that Terriers jersey on?
It's great, you know, since I was a little kid, and especially now that I'm a senior playing with the guys that I grew up with. It's really special, and it's really eye-opening to how far we've come and that we're still together. It's great, you know, what the guys have worked for, what our team has worked for. It feels great for it now to be paying off, but we got to keep going. It's eye-opening, and especially for me and the other guys that are seniors, you know, time flew by, and you know, you look back and you're like, where did it go? But now you realize that all that work you put in, you got to make it count now. It's your final chance.
Thank you so much, Ryan. Up next, we have our play of the night, plus our unsung heroes. Stick and stay, please.
And now, the Macadit Play of the Night, sponsored by McAdoo's.
Our Macadit Play of the Night, we go back to Gretna down there. The Hawks taking on the Glenver Highlanders, and after a furious recovery and return by the Glenver Highlanders, it is Kamari Chatton running through the heart of that Glenver defense, but Glenver would win the game, but Gretna's Kamari Chapman gets our Macadit Play of the Night.
And now, it's Hardee's Friday Night Blitz Unsung Hero, celebrating those who keep the game moving, sponsored by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Well, our unsung heroes are 4 local volleyball teams playing for a state title Saturday at the Salem Civic Center. At noon, it is Class 2 final. Appomattox takes on Brewton in their first state volleyball title. At 2:15, Class 3, Hidden Valley going back to the finals, going for their 3rd state title, take on Grafton. And at 4:30, it's a Class 1 all-local final. Auburn going for their 5th straight title, taking on Alta Vista. Well, folks, that does it for this edition of the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz. We'll have this show up momentarily on WXRTV.com. Thank you so much for watching our show. Next week, it is the regional finals. I'm Jermaine Ferrell. Hope all of your teams are winners. Have a wonderful and blessed night and weekend, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving.